Okay, well let's play a guessing game with the Calgary Flames. Okay, so let's start with Tkachuk. What would you say the over under is on his deal in terms of AAV?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I think,
He's gonna be a dick like his brother. I mean, or his dad, whoever's in charge. I don't know, but
yeah. So Kachuk is coming off what, like 7.5 on his bridge
yeah,
deal.
on his bridge, and he's put up 40
Oh my God. I think so it starts at 8 million minimum,
at least.
8
Yeah,
million on a long-term deal. But who knows? Maybe he signs like a shorter term deal, like something like Austin Matthews did.
to get to
But
UFA.
But man, yeah, that's like, I don't know. After watching him in the playoffs, like, are you just signing a contract, no questions asked, for like 8 to 9 million? Because I think eight is the bare minimum at this point, based on
Well,
the season he had.
maybe it's like a total unfair comparison. I'm gonna do that anyway. Like, what does brother sign for? 825 times 8. I don't think
Yeah.
he's taking. I don't think is he taking less. I mean, you could argue that Brady's the captain,
But
but
like Matthew, just based on numbers and
exactly.
what he's done to this point in his career, has been the better player than Brady Tkachuk.
Honestly, man, if he goes to that table and he wants 10 million, I won't be surprised.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. I think
I won't be
he's
surprised.
gonna ask for the moon.
Yeah. And again, it's that whole thing of like how his brother held out a bit. I think their agent's their uncle too, right? So it's not fun. And even too, I remember, I forget what interview it was with Matthew where he was open about the Brady Tkachuk negotiations.
Yeah.
He's like, we're Tkachuks, we're hard to deal with, we're gonna get what we deserve. So that's when he's talking about his brother. Imagine when he's talking about when he's at the table for himself. Oh my god, ugly.
But like,
Given
think
that,
about it, man. Like, are you giving Matthew Tkachuk more money than Nikita Kucherov and Braden Point and Steven Stamkos?
is
And
that
like, go
fair?
down the list at some of these other, big name players in the league. Like, can you imagine giving Matthew Tkachuk a $10 million deal and letting Johnny Gaudreau walk? I'm telling you right now, Flames fans, Johnny Gaudreau is your most important offensive player. And I don't even think it's close. And if you're
Yeah.
going to commit that money to Matthew Tkachuk and you're going to give him the bag after this playoffs, and you're just going to let Johnny walk, like, in my opinion, Johnny's the guy who should be asking for 9 to 10 million.
Oh, easy. Oh, I'd sign Gaudreau tomorrow for $10 million
Yeah.
and based on his production.
So, and again, I know Flames fans, like, they're pissed off still from what happened, but man, like, that's a situation where I'm prioritizing Johnny Gaudreau. But again, it might not even matter because he's a UFA and can do whatever the hell he wants. But that's who I'm prioritizing, and I'm treading very carefully with this Matthew Tkachuk contract. But it's like, we were just talking about Lepore, their hands could be tied because he could be like, look, my brother, who's not as good as me, and he's a captain, he got over $8 million. So if you're not at least giving me 8 to 9 million, then we have an issue here.
Yeah. With regard to Gaudreau, that was my next question. Percentages. What percent would you give he stays in Calgary?
Honestly, man, I have a feeling, God, it's tough. Like, I have a feel it's 50-50.
You even I don't give it
So
50%.
you think it's even less?
Oh, I think it's less, bro.
So you think he's
Come
gone?
on. I think he's gone. Yeah. I think it's one of those, someone's gonna make him. I mean, he's the franchise player in Calgary, but you know where I'm going with it. It's like someone's gonna give him like a franchise player contract. Like whether it's Philly or Jersey or someone like that. And I'm always the first one to say people always try to get inside people's heads. Like you already hear about Matthews. Oh, he's gonna move to LA, or like, why do you think that? Like, you don't know him personally, is like what he wants and what he strives for. And I don't know that about Gaudreau. I just think the timing of it, like, he's at least going to listen to numbers.
Yeah,
And
I think,
and all you get is one desperate team.
yeah, no, you're right. I would lean he is leaving. Like, I don't think, maybe it's not exactly 50-50. I would put it at like 53-47.
Oh, I put it like
an
20.
official.
I put it like 20%. He's
Wow. I see. You think he's definitely out the
I
door.
think
But what
he's
I'll
gone.
say is that he surprised the hell out of me this season, because I honestly didn't think it would be possible for him to have the season he had under Daryl Sutter. Because as we know, right, Daryl Sutter's like typically low event hockey, grind it
Right.
out, defensive style of play. And then Johnny Gaudreau's out here putting up 115 points, which is
Yeah.
extremely impressive. So maybe he looks at it and says, this was a pretty good situation for me under Daryl Sutter. I was able to thrive offensively. We were able to thrive as a team. We were one of the most well-rounded teams in the league. So maybe he looks at it from that perspective and says, wow, like this was actually a really good situation for me. But from the other perspective, man, you just had the season of your life and you want to go out there and get the bag. And if there's a team that's going to just write you a fat check, and whether that's New Jersey or one of these other American teams, then he's going to look very long and hard at that. And honestly, actually, he might even not look that long. He might take 5 minutes and sign the contract with one of these other teams. But yeah, Lepore, the more you kind of convinced me. I mean, I would lean towards he's leaving, but I'm not as 100% as convinced as you are that he's leaving.
I guess I think of it this way, and I would think of it this way with regard to any player. Okay, so if you really, at the end of the day, you and your agent know the types of offers you're going to get offered. And let's be honest here, I'm sure some offers have already been thrown his way in an illegal fashion. Like, you know, this is what we're thinking, Johnny, like, and or to his agent. So how I respond to that is, if you're happy in Calgary, again, there's been negotiations, numbers have popped up. Why haven't you signed already?
That's fair.
So, and like I'd be saying that about Matthews or Marner, one of our guys.
Oh, it's like Tavares, right, with the Islanders.
Exactly.
Same situation.
How many guys? It'd be interesting to see, like, star players, how often they hit free agency and stay. Stamkos comes to mind. Like he hit free agency and then just signed in Tampa, which shocked everyone. But
a couple other guys, and I know they were a little older at the time, like Getzlav and Perry.
Okay.
Or at least Getzlav, I remember he signed, I think he became a free agent and he ended up signing like 8x8.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm right about Stamkos, right? It was in the summer he signed that deal.
Yeah.
That was after the season was done. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I mean, it's, again, you know the numbers you're gonna get. You have an idea of what your team's gonna like. I mean, your team's put deals on the table. So why if you love it there and you believe in it and the money's the money, why haven't you signed yet? So
yeah, it's true. He's definitely going to weigh his options. So we're going to
to
have our eye on that situation, just as millions of Calgary Flames fans will be having their eyes on that situation as well, because my goodness, I can't even imagine what that team is going to look like.
Isn't Mangiapane up as well?
Yeah, like just looking at their cap friendly real quick here. Yeah, Mangiapane is an RFA coming off a 30-goal season.
And how much is he getting paid right now?
And he is coming off. Oh, wow. He signed a 3-year deal. Actually, where's his latest contract? Sorry, it was a 2-year deal for $4.8 million.
Yeah. So it's even a question of if they can afford, like, it's a matter of who they want to keep and what they can afford.
So he was making under $2.5 million a season.
Crazy.
He's clearly getting a raise.
Clearly.
And then obviously you have Tkachuk and Gaudreau. And then they still have Tyler Toffoli under contract for the next couple of seasons. Same with Lindholm. But even Lindholm, he only makes $4.8 million, Lepore.
And when's he up?
He's up. He has 2 more years left.
Oh, okay.
But like, that's a bargain for a player like that.
But you got to think, though, I mean, if their vision was to keep Gaudreau, Mangiapane, and Tkachuk, like, you're pushing 30 million on those 3 guys. Like you're 25 million at least.
Yeah, that's a tough cap situation. And it almost felt like this was the year, almost like they're all in year.
Yeah.
And I know they didn't make like a crazy big splash at the trade deadline. Like they picked up Tyler Toffoli,
which was nice. Yeah.
Which was nice. But it just felt like, looking at their cap sheet, that they really, felt like this was the season that they needed to win, because they're going to have some issues here. So
yeah,
we'll see how that plays out. Is there anything else about the Calgary Flames you want to get off your chest?
No, it was fun. Always fun to rip on another fellow Canadian team that underperformed in the playoffs, but I think we did it justice.
Yeah, I think.
And we were right about Daryl Sutter.
Yeah, we ended up being right, everyone.
Yeah.
It didn't work out.
Eat it.
But Calgary Flames, man, disappointing. So disappointing. I had bigger hopes for them in this playoff. But I mean, they're just going to have to figure it out in the offseason with all these contracts.